Good day. As you can see, I'm wearing my cap. Can only mean one thing, really sunny outside, which it is. Got something really quite different today. It's a custom built double cut guitar. Not going to mention who built it, but it's a guy who'd seen me on YouTube, liked what I did, so he decided to bring some guitars for me for some work. And it's the same guy who had the Tokai Strat refretted. This is one of his own builds. And it puts me in mind of something like a Gordon Smith crossed with a PRS type of one pickup, mate. It's got Magnum pickup, with the name John Birch on there. The guitar itself, Big D Nicky Custom, says on there. And I've taken the truss rod cover off before and had a look, which I'm going to do again right now. Just wire sat. It's only a one screw affair, so it won't take long. And I'm going to explain. The guy built this guitar from scratch, but he says he's not mad keen on fretting. Not that he can't do it, he can do it, but fretting's not his thing. Now it's come to me. It doesn't need a refret, but it definitely does need cleaning up. There's a lot of glue residue on the frets, and we're 9 high frets, so it's going to need a fret level. But there you go. Look at the says on the headstock area there. Built for Nika 2015. So look at that. You can see that there. So anyway, very, very heavy. Looks like a piece of mahogany neck. You'd be going with a maple flame top there. Pick guard looks like it's made out of crystallite or some similar kind. Not crystallite, is it crystallite? You know the old gear the old telephones were made out of, the early things before plastic was popular. It looks like that kind of gubbins. Now I'm going to stick the fret level, the notched level on there, which I've already done, and I've been across with the fret rocker, which I'm going to turn the I'm going to stick the camera on there. Right, you can take my word for it that I've lowered. It's a two-way truss rod on a smallish, I don't know what size it is, smallish hex key, a bit like the Gibson type. I've already got that one. It's a bit too long for the oil, but I managed to turn it. Anyway, take my word for it that we're absolutely level there. There you go, it's absolutely level. I'm just going to go across with a fret rocker. You know how this works. Blah, blah, blah. Rocking, that's that one. Fine. Rocking. Rocking. Fine. Rocking. That's 4, I think. 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. Got 10 high frets. These are really high at this end, so we need a full fret level on there. That's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to get it up on the jig in a bit. I'm going to get these. I'm going to remove the residue glue. I'm going to file it off. I'm going to get it off with a blade. Going to re-level these, re-crown them. It don't look like this neck's ever been oiled, this fingerboard. There you go. That's what colour it should be. So we'll get all that done as well. So it's going to be a good day's work on this one. And there you go. That's what the neck's going to look like when we've done. So that's it with that one. That's what I'm going to do. The electrics, everything should be fine. Bridge is a strange affair. Not something I'm really that familiar with. Let me just move this camera back. As you see, my computer's not on. There's a reason for that. It's packed in. Hard drive's gone. Hard drive's packed up. Got no computer down there now. And unfortunately, I've got videos I was going to post on there, so I can't post them now. So they're lost. I might want to get some data back. I'm going to have a look, see what I can do with that tomorrow. But I'm going to carry on working today. So here we go. I'll show you the bridge. There you go. Strange affair. This slots in underneath. It's a wraparound type affair. Certainly not my cup of tea there. Just give me a tom bridge any day of the week. And that's it. Nice pickup on there. Lovely piece of wood, lovely guitar. I'm going to crack on with it. Like I say, it's going to have a complete fret level, complete setup. And that'll be it. I'll come back with an update on this as and when I've got one. Right, good day. As you can see, I've got the custom built double cut guitar now on the jig. I'm just going to move out of the way. and just zoom in a little. There you go, all zeroed out on the jig. Neck is perfectly straight, perfectly level, and I'm going to re-level the frets. As you can see, I've got it all strapped in, got everything taped up so we don't get any dings anywhere. Now, in hindsight, I should have looked more closely at this fingerboard and these frets, because these frets have been glued in quite badly and we're really uneven. There are at least nine that are high, quite high, so it's going to need a complete level. But I see why he's brought it to me to do this, because there's quite a lot of glue spillage seeped out from the cracks, so I'm going to have to remove all that. Well, I could do it any time, but there's a lot of glue everywhere. I'm going to bring the camera over in a minute. I'm going to take you down the fretboard and show you where we are. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to skim off the top of all of these frets, and I'm going to re-crown. I'm going to level them, re-crown them all, and give them another polish. So it's going to have the full bit. I thought it only need a light skim over, but now it's going to need the full lot. In hindsight, I would myself, I'd have put bigger frets on this, and I'd have actually recommended a refret. But the thing is, it's a new build, so what I'm going to do is instead, I've decided I'm going to scrape out all the old glue, and I'm going to show you how much of it there is in a minute when I bring the camera over. I'm going to scrape out all the old glue, then I'm going to do the level. So there's going to be quite a lot of work on this, quite a lot of time. But I'm still going to charge the regular rate for a complete fret level with a basic setup, because it only needs a basic setup. So when we made guitar, you'll see I removed the nut, got the nut out really quite easy, but what I did was I cut round the edge of the nut in all angles in all places because it had been glued in. So I cut round all the lacquer everywhere, and I was just able to tap it out from the side. So now I'm going to move the camera. I'm going to show you the situation with the glue on the frets. So here we go, and I don't know if you're going to see it all, but there's glue residue in all these sort of places. I'm going to take you along the neck, and hopefully you can see where we are. Look, right there. But it's not the only spot. Again, here. You're going to see various places. Here. It's hard for me to hold the camera and point to everything. All up here. So all these areas are going to have to be cleaned of the glue before I can. And here, look. So there's quite a lot of spillage all over. And I'll just take you down the neck, and there you go. So you get the idea. So I'm going to have to remove all of that. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom, it doesn't look bad. Now this area here where it's darker, this is where I sprayed some mineral oil, just because the wood is really dry. It needs treatment with mineral oil, which we call lemon oil. It's mineral oil with a hint of lemon in there, especially formulated. It doesn't harm the wood at all, so don't believe the scare stories on the internet. There's glue here as well in the middle of this part. I can feel it with my fingers, so I'm going to scrape all that off. And then it's just going to be a regular fret level. Once it's levelled, I'll do a re-crown and polish, which is going to take me the best part of a day, so I'm going to crack on with it now, and I'll come back later with another update. So I'm back with a custom build. I've scraped all the residue glue off, or as much as I can for right now. A couple of little bits still there, I've still got to sort out, but I wanted to just show the areas I need to flat or to level these frets. And what I do is I go across with the fret rocker and I test each area. I do the centre, the outside, the inside, or 1, 2, 3 areas. And if you look, I'll count them all up for how many areas we've got to flatten and level. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20, at least 24 areas of a fretboard are high. Now these aren't just high, some of these are really very high, incredibly high. That's stupidly high. And this happens, I mean this even happens when I do a refret. Probably not as bad as this. This is probably one of the worst cases I've ever seen, considering it's a brand new fret job. But the thing is, I would say that these are lightly been hammered in and they've not been pressed in on a press. If you'd done this on a press, you've got a much more even pressure on the frets. I would suggest they've been hammered in, and too much glue for a lot of areas. I mean these areas are really quite high. That one's not so bad, but that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off with a file, just a regular file. I'm going to bring these down just to almost level with these two. I believe them a little bit high, and then I'll skim over the whole lot. I mean, like I say, there's 24, 25 areas here. Like I said, there's 3 areas on a fret. 1, 2, 3. So quite a lot, but I imagine this is 12% fret wire, so it shouldn't take me that long. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off with a regular file. I'm not going to go. I'm going to leave it slightly proud on each one, and then I can go across the whole lot with a beam and level the lot. I don't want to remove any from here or any from here. I want to hope and pray that these are actually in quite level, quite straight, because everything is going to be level with these two. Now I'll make sure that the radius is right on them compared to the fretboard itself. I think it's a 12-inch radius, and if they are, I could just skim the whole lot using these two as guides. I don't want to remove any material from this one or this one, and everything. If I just go with a level beam in between, everything is going to be level with this pair, which is going to be absolutely bang on. It's how we do it. We just need to make sure that these are right in, these two. So these are probably most important 2 frets. So anyway, I'm going to do that with a file. I'm going to get on with that. I'm going to get it all taped up, get the beam on there, and I'm going to get it all done. And I'm not going to come back with an update all day, because this is a long-winded affair, and you know, I've got a lot of stuff to do. For me to keep starting on video, I'm not going to bother. You know how I do this job, you know how it works. I just wanted to get a record of it on file just to show the owner of the guitar, and this is where we are. Right, I'm back at a slightly different angle. You'll notice now that the frets are all covered in marker pen. Now the reason is all the frets are level everywhere, all along the board, all 3 positions, outside, inside, centre, all positions. And I've checked everything. Been across with the levelling beam, just at 400 grit once I've got everything level. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across with a radius block. Radius to the same radius as the neck and the frets. And I'm going to go one way, and what we should do in a couple of 2 or 3 strokes should take all the pen off, and that will say that everything's level. That all the frets are level. There you go. That's been 4 strokes, and the pen is removed from everywhere. A tiny bit there. There you go. 4, 5 light strokes, the pen is gone from the top of every fret. That means all the frets are level. My job's done on that. Gone really well. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to get some white spirit, clean off all the frets, clean off all the fretboard. It's going to dry it out a little, get it all taped up, get the recrown done, get the polish done, blah 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 blah. I will come back once I've done the polish and I'm ready to oil the neck and get it all back together, get it set up. So that's it. The fret levelling and the recrowning is all done. I crowned with my 3-edge file as I normally do, and I went over with the medium size crowning file here. It's about 2mm wide, that one, which is just a little bit, it might be 2.5, it's just about as wide as the frets. I also went over, got a new crowning file here from, I can't remember where I got it from. I got it from somewhere in England anyway. Absolutely beautiful. I just gave it a light touch with this. Probably a little bit too wide. This is with jumbo frets, so I'll probably get the medium one next time. Absolutely beautiful. I think I got it from, it's not Luthi Tech, it's called tonetech.co.uk I bought it from. Brilliant. So that's it. They're levelled, they're recrowned, and now all I need to do is to polish the frets. I'm just going to zoom in just a little, just show you. And there you go. We've only got a thin line down the centre of these frets now, because we've taken off the edges. Blah blah blah. We've rolled over, and basically we've put that crown back into the fret. So that's it, job done. So I'm going to leave the guitar on here for polishing, or I might stick it over on the other bench yet, I don't know. But I'm going to get on with the polishing. I'll come back once the polishing's done, then we can get the guitar all set up and it'll be ready to go. Back with this custom built double cut guitar, and I've done the fretwork. Absolutely beautiful, all level, recrowned, polished. Couple of things, not so much issues, but a couple of things with the guitar. There were scratches in these, in the fingerboard when I got it. I don't know what I've been done with. It looked like it might have been done with a blade, maybe where someone tried to scrape some glue off or whatever. It's really difficult to be able to sand this out, which I can't sand it out because the frets are in the guitar. In hindsight, what I would have done, if this was a no expense spared guitar, what I would have done with it would have been I'd have removed these frets and I'd have re-sanded the fingerboard, re-radiused it, Resanded it, got it all nice and smooth, got all these out, but now I've got the frets. Well, I couldn't use the same frets, but I'd have given this a refret myself. But that said, the frets, absolutely beautiful. Got rid of all the glue around the edge of the frets. There's quite a lot to move. I've smoothed off the fingerboard. There was some glue residue on quite a few places. It's as smooth as I can get it now. The frets are all polished. The frets are all level. Once I get some strings on it, get the bridge back on, get strings on, I'm going to look at cutting the nut. That'll want a little bit of a reshape. It's a bit chunky. It's not exactly even. It sort of comes down a bit at the front, which we don't like. We want it level at the front, down towards the back. So a little bit of recut in there. Stop us getting any fret buzz or anything. Stop us getting any sitar note, getting that sitar sound with some of the strings. All in all, it's going to be a great guitar. It's going to be a great player when it's done. It's solid. It's straight. Neck straight. A couple of cosmetic issues with the neck there. I mean, myself, like what I did with my Kramer, I had these marks in my Kramer guitar when I bought it, and I took the frets out and I resanded the fingerboard and flattened it all out, which I'm a bit of a. I like my guitars. I like them. I like fingerboards to be pristine because it's what I do. I'm a fret friend. It's what I do. So, but that said and done. Once this is set up, it's going to play like a dream. You're going to get no buzzing now. The frets are fine. They look brilliant. Look really, really good. So that's really it. I'm going to get the tape off, get it set up. I'll come back with a final update sometime soon. Well, this really is a shame. Well, I didn't realise before, but on setting up this custom guitar, the intonation's miles out, and I wonder why it's miles out, and it's quite easy to explain. These bridge posts are not in the right place. They're too far that way, and I'm talking they are 13mm out, half an inch. They need to be here. I've adjusted this bridge all the way back as much as it will go, and the saddle's all the way back, and the intonation is still out. And we need the saddles really to be where my finger is, a good 5mm back from here as well. I've not set these two, there's no point. The scale length is wrong. It should be a 628mm, which is 25.5. Which means this measurement should be 314mm, which it just about is. It's actually 312. So I get to here, and I'm thinking the centre of these saddles, which is basically where they are now, is where the bridge post should be. And the bridge post this way, and I measured the bridge posts, and from a nut to here is only 612. Is it 612 millimeters? Should be 628. It's 613mm. It should be 628. Let me measure again. You've only got 312 to a 12 fret. That's short anyway by 2mm. It really is a shame, but there's nothing else I can do with this. The centre bridge post is 615mm, which means the saddles are only about 612mm from a nut. It should be 620, but 16mm difference. I'm going to show you, because you know you're not going to really get it until you see it for yourself. And I've only got a tape measure here. I'm going to bring the camera out and get it on the whole of the guitar. It really is a shame, but the thing is, I've done the work now on the neck. My neck's fine, but and it's really bad when something like you come across something like this. Let's see how much I can get in here. Don't know if you're going to see it all. I need to get it so I can get the whole of the. Right, there you go. So we come from the nut, inside the nut, we come right here, and we measure to the 12th fret, and the 12th fret, which is here, and we're right on it, and we are 312.5, 313mm. That gives you a full length of 326. Well, it should be 328, but when you get to that, now we're going to go again from here, and you need to be 628. Now here's 628, right where my fingertip is, and it is, and this saddle here is about 615. it's 13 mil out. This bridge post, where these are, it shouldn't be there, it should be here, where my finger is, say my finger's a bridge post, these, that's where they should be. So I've got this adjusted all the way back. These saddles still need to come this way for the intonation. The centre of the saddle should be where these saddles are, which means these posts should be back here. The only way to fix this is two ways. Two ways you can fix this, and neither of them are easy. The easiest way is to remove these posts, fill these in and drill them further back, 12-13 mil back. That's the easiest way. The most difficult way is to remove the neck and move the neck that way, 13 mil. You have to get some wood around this heel. Basically you got to remove it, you got to build some wood up down there, you got to move that back to there and get some wood in there. That's going to compromise the strength of it. So the easiest way to do this, and the best way, and cosmetically it's not going to be perfect, but even my Luffy friends will say exactly the same. Take these two bridge posts out, fill these two holes in and move them back. Now my mate Clive Eastwood could do that with no problem for him, and to finish it really nice here. It's going to cost you about 100 quid to get that done with Clive Eastwood. I can't do it because I don't have a spray shop here, but they need to be moved from there to there. And again, I'm going to measure again, and I'll show you where we are. It's easy with this one. I've got a 600 mil rule. 600 is just past the pickup, so we're just past the pickup, and there you go. We're 615 mil the centre of this. There's 628. 13 mil off. We're an half inch out. These are about half inch, so you need to move that to there. Really, it's a shame. It's been instructed me just says, look, just do what you can, set it up best you can, and that'll be it. So really sad news.